Hey everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So I'm here today with a layout for the Hip Kit Club design team, and it is Product Focus Wednesday, and I am focusing on the colours blue, yellow, grey and wood grain. So I'm using my February 2021 kit, which I'm absolutely loving, and what I've done is gone through it. I've got all of the kits and I've just pulled out some things that are going to meet the blue, yellow, grey and wood grain colour scheme. So I'll show you the papers first. Some of these are scraps and some of them are full sheets, but looking at this page, there's these two here that are the blue on the Hello Today cut apart from Simple Stories. Yeah, I'm not going to turn these papers over because I've actually got them on the page on the sides that I want to show you. So here I've got this card. This is my favourite. This little one I can cut apart for go. One that says Adventure. That is from the Sundays collection from Pink Fresh Studio. For the wood grain, I get the pattern paper add-ons, so that's why I've got two of the same, but I love a good wood grain for a background, so I'm not quite sure. I have an idea for this layout right now of what I'm going to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use a full wood grain for a background. If I don't, then I've got this piece here that I can use, and it is from, well, it's exclusive actually, the Heartfelt collection by Hip Kit, Kim and Kimberly. We have this piece of Pink Fresh, it's blue, and in fact the other side is blue as well, so I may use one or both sides of that. I'll put this one aside for a sec because I've got two sheets of that. I've also got this Heartfelt paper, and it's a beautiful navy with a lighter blue heart. It looks like it's been stitched on, so I may use that. I've pulled this piece of navy cardstock. It's basil, and it is called Arctic. So that's lovely. It's textured on one side, smooth on the other. I've also got this piece of Echo Park from Little Dreamer Boy or Girl collection called Rainbow Magic. Rainbows are on the other side. You would have seen me use those rainbows quite a lot. And then I have this beautiful, beautiful piece of Pink Fresh paper. It is from the Some Days collection. And if you guys had seen Kimberly's live where she showed the kit, she talked about the possibilities with this paper and how you could fussy cut it and use it, and that's exactly what I want to do with it. So I'm not sure why I pulled both sheets, but I just want to show you, like, I've used some of this already. The B side is that beautiful floral. So this is exactly why you want to get the pattern paper add-on, because if you're going to use this as a background, if you're like me, you can't resist a floral, you're going to want this as well. So yeah, that's my plan. I think I will show you a little bit of how I fussy cut this. I will be using a knife as well as my favourite fussy cutting scissors. So my plan is to fussy cut out, I'm not going to say all of the kind of gridded paper, but not in between. Like some of the grid goes in between the letters numbers and the edge of the number, but in the instance of this I would cut this piece out here but not on the inside because I don't want this really thin piece of paper, but you'll get what I mean, and I'll show you when I get to the end of fussy cutting. I'll show you how it went. So that's my plan. Oh, and of course I totally forgot to show you the embellishments. So I went through the Pocket Life cards, and there's this navy one that's set up for journaling. Also this blue one with the word routine. At this point I don't know what photo I'm scrapping. I have not used any of these Simple Stories frames, and I really want to, so I thought these are great because they're wood grain. It doesn't matter that there's other colours on here. I mean, you're not going to completely, I'm not going to completely just stick to that colour scheme, or that really limits what I can use, but as long as that colour scheme is the predominant colour I will use. Depending on what photo, I'm not sure, but I definitely get at least one of these frames on my page. Then I've pulled out the die cut packs. So we've got like the more kind of image icon, a few phrases, and then this one which is full of a lot of words and phrases, and the colours are definitely in there. I've got the Pink Fresh Studio floral and lemon. It's a floral pack, but I'd say lemons as well, and lots of yellow. I've got the Simple Stories brads, which I'm sure, yeah, there's a few blue ones in there that I can use. Some puffy stickers. I can see blue, yellow, not so much grey, but that's okay. And then these beautiful letter stickers as well. Okay, not sure why I forgot these, but you know, there's yellow, blue on these clear stickers. I think because I used these on my last layout. But we've still got yellow on here, some blue, grey. I definitely want to get some grey on, so these are going to be great. And from the Pink Fresh Studio collection, there's more blue, a little bit of yellow. Not much grey, but that's okay. More of these. Sorry, these are all out of order because I've just had them from my last layout. And then I'm not sure if I'll use anything on here, but I've pulled it anyway. Enamel dots, of course, blue and yellow. Another card that I could use, or probably not actually, but I just thought I'd show you that there is another one in there that I haven't used. And then this is going to be great with the blue and the yellow. And then I'd be great actually to get a title from these blue puffy alphas. So yeah, sorry that was a bit disjointed in my description, but you get the idea. I've pulled a lot. That's one of the best things about getting all the kits, is that you have a lot to choose from, but also it can get overwhelming. So it's good to have a product focus. And you can do this yourself as well. Like, that is a design team assignment for me, but it makes it a lot easier if I limit my supplies and yeah, instead of just throwing everything on the page, which is something I am tempted to do. So there, now I'm going to get into it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to do was fussy cut this paper, and what I did notice is that when you can't move the paper and you have to move your scissors, it's not as easy and clean to fussy cut. So at the moment, it's easier just trimming off these pieces on the edge. But I found when I had to trim out the centres, particularly of the zeros or the eights or even the sixes, it was quite difficult to cut those kind of circular shapes with my scissors because I couldn't really move the paper. I could only move the scissors. So you can't really tell looking at it. I mean, when I add everything else to the layout, this is really just like creating a background paper. It's not the forefront of my layout. So you can see here I've cut it all out, and just trying to decide. I was going to use that navy paper, but this paper here looked even better. So it was surprising to me that I went with two pattern papers for a background. I thought I'd definitely bring in that cardstock, but yeah, there was. I thought I'd film that bit and kept it in my video, but it was a definite colour match with this sort of different shade of navy than the cardstock you can see on the bottom right hand corner there. But I still used the cardstock, so I was happy about that. So I just glued as much as I could and had to go around the little bits that on the edge that didn't quite glue, and also these sort of pieces that aren't attached to another piece, and just add extra glue. I don't know if you needed to do that or not. I did it because it bothered me. And then I went around with yellow thread and I stitched around the edge just to make sure that all the edge pieces were stuck down, because if you imagine when you put this in a page protector, you really don't want to bend any of the edges up. Now, I had forgotten, I think, to say that there's this grey piece of paper in the kit, which I was really relieved about because there's not much grey, and my intention is not to do any mixed media on this layout. So I decided to back that larger frame, and I'm really happy with myself because I managed to use both of the frames for this layout. I used to really struggle with them, and I can happily say that I don't struggle anymore. So I have these two photos of Brielle on the first day of school, and it's the numbers on the background paper that I've made that really made my mind up to scrap a back to school photo. I know that in the States and other parts of the world, your back to school, I believe, is September. Our back to school is February or the end of January, depending how the school year works, how it falls in that year. Yeah, and I also love that as you watch this layout progress, there are a few kind of school themed, or a couple actually, layouts, embellishments that are going to work. And so I loved that the documented frame had a little paper clip at the top. I thought that went well with a back to school layout, and also the frame with today, it helps me sort of build a subtitle, or it could be the main title. I'll explain it when I get to it. Now, I need to apologise. I know people have asked for shorter videos from me, but with this one, because there's so much going on, I didn't want to cut out a whole lot of stuff, and I've kept it in. So if If a longer video is not your cup of tea, I'm not going to be offended at all if you don't watch all of this. I think the first 6 minutes of this video are me talking about what I'm using and why. So, yeah, I'd say you could skip to that, but you've probably already got to this point anyway. But yeah, I hope it a longer video. I hope it's not boring. I hope it inspires you, and I hope it helps those people that want to see the whole process. So here I've taken that piece of cardstock. I have torn the edge, and then I've used my notebook punch again. I think I used it on my last layout because I love that for a school layout. I try to use it on all of my back to school layouts because I just think it is really cute and speaks of back to school. I've also done some machine stitching. I think I went 3 times across in yellow as well. I cover up a lot of this, but you can still see a hint of it. So just adding extra texture and extra interest, which is what my style I've decided is all about. It seems to be that anyway. So speaking of extra interest, I decided to hand stitch around this tiny little blue heart. I just used white thread. This is from one of the Simple Stories cut-aparts, and it's going to be perfect for my journaling. It has a school feel about it as well because it looks like it's been cut out of a little notebook. I didn't need to add the stitching. I just love adding little bits and pieces of extra detailing, and it adds texture as well. Now on to adhering this frame. I'm popping it up on some craft foam because I need, I guess I need some extra dimension. And I just love how that looks, and it enables me to tuck things underneath a lot more easier. So if you know me or you watch my videos, you know that I have to add some dimension. So just using that ruler there to make sure it's straight. The other two, the frame and the card, are not going to be on straight, but I really needed this to be on straight. And then of course I had to get a couple of these grey clear stickers. I guess they're clear, yeah, kind of transparent. I had to get them on because they are grey and that's one of the colours. So I forgot to add the date onto this. Yeah, forgot to add the date, but I need to go back and do that because it's important to me. So yeah, it doesn't appear in my final photos. I didn't realise till after I took my photos. So I've just put the journaling details on there about her starting school, who her teacher is, and also how she was excited because she's got a friend that's 6 months younger than her, but is a year. The way it works, school year, that friend is a year behind. So Brielle is a year 3, that little girl is a year 2, but she was coming into the same class as Brielle, and they've known each other since they were 3, so it's absolutely lovely, and she was so excited about Rosie coming back into her class. Okay, so I was interrupted in this voiceover by someone coming to my house. As always, there's always something going on whenever I'm trying to do a voiceover, but now I've got the main kind of main placement of everything, of the major elements, the bigger elements, and now it's time to embellish. And sometimes I struggle a bit because there's just so much to choose from, and so I also, if I see smaller embellishments, I want to try and get them on the page last, but I don't want to lose them either. So it's a case of just looking at what I've got and trying to make it all work. So I have these clear stickers, and the only place I could put them really was onto that grey scallop paper, and I had a couple that I'd cut in half, and I just had the extra pieces left, and I loved that I was able to tuck them under my photo. So I've gone with a yellow one and a blue one, and you can still see the scallops, even though they're subtle as well, you can still see them underneath. Now I'm playing around with the title for this layout, so I thought that 2021 was perfect. I think, I can't quite see, I haven't got the layout in front of me, I just put it back on display. I should have grabbed it back, but I think, so my layout is Hello Today 2021, which I think works really well for a school themed layout. And yeah, I've used one of those stickers from the Pink Fresh Studio sticker sheets, and sorry, I've lost my train of thought, all because that person came to my house, and now I'm just going through the die cuts because I haven't used them much, and I'm just going through and pulling out either blue, yellow or grey. Now there's not much grey in this kit, so I'm going with as much blue and yellow as I can. I thought that Sweetie Pie was adorable, because she really is. yeah, just going through everything here. I did pull a lot to work with, and I've got this thing, it's probably, I don't know if you do this as well, but when I'm working with these kits, because I have different assignments, I don't just dump everything into a big container. I keep everything in its packages. And that way, if I have to pull something from a certain kit, like the main kit only, it's easier to pull. And I have this thing, I just like keeping manufacturer things together. So these are the Pink Fresh Studio Florals. There's a few lemons and things in there. I'm just going through and pulling out as many of the yellow ones as I can. Obviously, there might be a bit of green, there might be a bit of pink as well. I'm not, I think I said at the beginning that I'm focusing on those colours, but I can't just keep it to them. Even the frame with the word today is not in those colours. So I think the whole thing about a product focus is that it enables you to create something that you wouldn't normally create when you're limited in your supplies, and I think that's really awesome. So that little puffy sticker with pens, and I think there was a like old-fashioned quill kind of calligraphy pen on there. I had that laying horizontal, but I've decided to move it over onto the frame above the 21. I love it because it is school themed or office themed. It works really well with the back to school layout. And I've just gone through, like I said, pulling as many florals as I can. Now, I wish I'd left that little trio of 3 flowers there because it looks really cute, but I move it. Hindsight, of course. Some of these flowers I cut in half so that I'm not wasting the other half underneath an element. It's a great little tip for you if you want to get the absolute most out of your embellishments. I'm adding some embroidery twine in yellow because I don't have any baker's twine in yellow, and I think it looks really cute with all the other yellow. And like I said, yeah, cutting things in half. Still trying to get these flowers on the page. They would have looked good in any of those places, but sometimes I have these hoarding tendencies where I think I want to save them for something else. So that's what I've done. Trying to get more of these stickers onto this layout. There's a little blue heart that I've added to the side of that frame there. That's a perfect example of a small embellishment that I want to use. I'm not quite ready to use it, but I don't want to have it get lost or forget about it. So you see there I've moved it 2 other places, and I'm going to put it underneath the sweetie pie and above that little puffy butterfly. So I've used some of the brads as well. I think I've used 3 of them. I really did want to stick to the colour scheme with them. I didn't want to introduce anything else. And now just working on these clusters, and as always with me, I jump all over the show when I'm embellishing. I just keep going until it feels done. Now I had to pull out that love bug heart. I saw that on the back of the packaging. It shows you what embellishments and die cuts you get in that pack, so I basically took these out just to pull that out, and in the process found a couple of other things as well. So my final step is to add some white Liquitex acrylic ink just from my stash. I think it needed something. There's a lot going on, I know, with this layout, but I'm hoping that that dark navy cardstock kind of pulls your eye to the center and helps you focus on the photos. So yeah, that's my final layout. I'm so happy with how this one turned out. Thank you, Kimberly, for inspiring me to fussy cut that paper. I love it so much. And like I've said before, maybe I wouldn't have done a layout focusing on these colors if I didn't have this as an assignment. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and do head on over to the Hip Kit Club website if you want more information on how to become a subscriber. You get a discount on the kits, and you also get access to the free subscriber cut files. Take care, everyone.